Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities in Miniature, and it is time to get this show on the road, let me tell you. So recently we showed you guys Crimson Steel Mechworks' new heretic naval raiding boarding parties. I'm not sure what the full official title is at the moment. It could change, at least from what I saw last time. And for as fun and as interesting of a kit that they were, I mean, you had a lot of very interesting, unique, varied pieces, of which my previous video barely touched the surface of. They weren't the real star, I thought, of what was coming. And I wanted to talk to you guys today about the Interred, because this is a absolute bonkers of a kit and proves that the folks at Crimson Steel Mechworks are absolute madmen. I mean, without a doubt. So, the Interred are basically the close combat equivalent. Now, all of the body parts that the Interred have are going to be very similar to the basic radiators for the boarding party, but they just took the weirdness to a whole other degree. So you can see here, even though his rifle has been busted, he's still going to use it as a weapon. And there are all sorts of just fun, crazy close combat weapons. There's hands for a variety of different tools, and I will show you quite a few of those in a sec. I was looking for one particular specimen who seems to have escaped me, of course, because I want him in front of me. How typical that is. Seriously, where'd he go? I have no idea. Okay, well, we'll skip it. Oh, there he is. Okay. So, we have both the regular one-handed weapons. We have a bunch of guys with two-handed weapons with both limbs attached, so you basically just need to place them onto the body. He's carrying a bell with him because reasons, and has a very antiquated scope dog looking head, which I'm sure is nothing but a coincidence. Or a star-nosed mole rat face, which would be just as possible. And we were talking about that today. Okay, that's really random. Another fun one is that the polearm variants, of which I seem to have slowly but surely bent this guy's, all of them have a modular joint at the tip of it that you can then attach all sorts of fun things to, be they rockets, like Panzerfausts, globes, skulls, sea mines. He has no face. There's like extra bits like these arm shields. There's just a lot of fun stuff to be had, and most of their legs have this kind of shuffling zombie gait, and if one so wanted, could actually then turn them into zombies. They have a bunch of hands, just kind of like flopped over, flaccid and limp, not doing a whole lot. But no, as cool as those are, to me, those are not the stars. The true star of this set is the other sets of arms that are available, and they make these absolutely wonderful drones. So they have these big metallic gauntlets, and being that it is a Crimson Steel Mechworks kit, you can pretty much guarantee every single thing you have available is going to be a modular option for those hands. And of course, buzzsaws are always a popular and prominent choice, but why stop there? Let's get all the big giant drills we can, right? And a bag on your head while you're at it. Bags and drills. If you want to go the more fanciful route, we have Tesla coils and arc nodes and other fun things like that. This guy's head looks like a pressure valve. Why? Why not would be a better question. I can't even keep him on his base. There's just a lot of really fun, unique, bizarre options. I call this guy my Castle Crasher. Totally reminds me of one of the Castle Crasher helmets, so he had to have knife hands. Just because. Did I glue these? I did not. If you don't want to have knives and you want to bring a gun to the gunfight, make some bat hands. In fact, I really am tempted to make some Heretic Raider Cobra bats, and I think it's entirely doable with everything in this kit. There's just... I don't even know. Let me put it this way as I stammer myself through this video here. Rather than actually print any of those hands, you know, or arms for some of the other items, bugles, shivs, knives, severed heads, whatever, bags of lumpy stuff, more landmines. No, it's just I made piles and piles of close comp. Shovels, if you want your Krieg drones, go that route. There are a variety of clamps and claws available. So I just went to town. This is just the start, guys. Honestly and truly, there's probably enough for about a good 10 or so drones, all armed with just stupid construction and, you know, nasty weaponry like that. Hammers and landmine heads, because that should be a thing. They're just fun, very bizarre. Well, I shouldn't say very bizarre. They're as bizarre as you want them to be. And if you're like me and you want to have just a bunch of fun drone bodies, heck, leave them off, count them as flamers or something. Unfortunately, the hands, if you were to try and attach them, like I've got like this Molotov hand here, they just don't fit very well, and they're very, very long. If you want to have, I guess, like robot hands, I guess, why not, right? Like I said, severed heads that I can't get in focus. Dangling them like Halloween pumpkin baskets. So again, your choice, and there's tons of choices, and I think that's what really makes this kit stand out for me. Go start shoveling. Put this guy to a bunch of menial tasks. And the heads, I mean, you could do so much with these guys. I think this is just a great set for unique and different looking, I mean, if you want to use them as cultists or something. All of the Raiders set parts are completely compatible with these guys. So they're similar. You'll notice there's differences in the amount of armor on the body. The torsos are a little bit different. The heads are a little bit different, but everything is compatible. You can give these guys guns and rifles if you really wanted to. I was going to say guns and roses, but well, you can give them that too. Why not? I don't know if there's any flowers. That would be... I think Crimson Steel Mechworks needs to have some flower bouquets, because that would just add to the insanity. That would be a very Zinchian thing to do, wouldn't it? So, while there are big differences, and I mean very visual, this, again, we've got like just a hood with chains hanging off of it and a hunchback. I can see these guys working really well with a variety of other armies, other artists, other factions besides what you could use them for in Trench Crusade. I mean, heck, yeah, I mean, you could honestly, without a whole lot of serious conversions, throw these guys into a 40k proper game and nobody would bat an eye, because they're just that out there. Heck, throw them in as like Mechanothralls or Dirges or something for War Machine, and they still wouldn't look that out of place, I would say. And that's the great thing about these guys. If you haven't ever had a chance to take a look at Crimson Steel Mechworks stuff, I mean, honestly, they're in my triumvirate of evil sculptors. I mean that in the most lovingly best way possible, because once I start printing their stuff, I can't stop. I really can't. I've got like boxes and containers of just various parts laying around here waiting to get put to use. And again, the cool thing is, these guys are totally compatible with all of their previous kits. You might need to mix and match, so if you have like any of their earlier, you know, heavy weapon suits for the more sci-fi stuff, these heads fit fantastic. If you don't want to put a canopy on there, if you want to use it on like their Karis pilots, and obviously this guy's seen better days as he's, you know, sleeping it off on the ground there. They totally work well for that too. They're all pretty much roughly in the same size, unless you start getting into their big, crazy, heavy power armor. And even then, who knows what you could probably come up with if you've got access to their stuff. So there's a whole lot of fun to be had there. And I absolutely wholeheartedly recommend you guys take a look. We'll have that link down below. And I keep hearing rumblings of a new amphibian faction coming down the pipeline. So might be something if you're interested in, or if you have a fondness for Zeonic one-year war aquatic suits, might be something worth checking out then. But at least in the meantime, we got fun stuff like this. So, with that said then, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here soon. Bye-bye.